Well, good morning, Tom.
We're back again. I
We are
love these
back again.
shows. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to these.
I'm excited for this. I actually look forward to this day when I get to sit down with you and just, pick your brains. Like, this is the best thing ever for me as well. So, and I know my listeners are enjoying it tremendously.
It's fun. I get to talk about stuff I never get to talk about. So this is always a good one. So what's your subject today? Lay it on me. What are we talking about?
Yeah. So, in today's Just One Thing episode, what I want to talk about is the pricing options. In our last couple of episodes, you spoke about nutrition, accountability, memberships, elite clients. And I was like, let me step back and see, as a gym owner, what should be my service offerings? What should I be even offering to my clients? And what should I be charging for them? And what are the mistakes that you see people do it? Like, I think three-part question, all centered around pricing options per se. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's start with the biggest mistake. I think the mistake people make when they're starting to set prices is they copy everybody else's nonsense and they don't look at where they live, because the pricing has to be a representation of the value of the market that you operate in. That's a mistake a lot of chains make, is like, okay, I've got all these gyms, but this gym is in, downtown Detroit, and this gym is in Pasadena, and we're charging the same thing. And it's just the prices have to reflect the market where you live. They have to reflect the economy. So you could have 5 different gyms and really have different price structures in those gyms, because they really, in many ways, need to reflect the market of your end. So we start with that, is that your prices have to be situational for the affluence in your market. We also think about this, if we're a training gym, which almost all the listeners, I think of your show are, is that then you're gearing this toward the top 40% by the affluence in your market. So another mistake is that people, they're afraid that they're going to price too heavy because somebody says, oh my God, that's so expensive. How can you charge that? That's the guy sitting at the bottom 60% that says that. And it's incredible. So another basic mistake we make is we broad base our prices instead of trying to go target specific for the market we won in the gym, assuming that there are going to be people coming into the gym and go, oh my God, it's too expensive. You're not a client. If money's your deciding factor, you're not going to be happy in this gym. This is, we sell Range Rovers, we sell Jaguars, we sell Mercedes, top of the line cars. We don't sell Kias. So, sir, if you want a Kia, you need to go to a Kia place, and it's called My Competition, and they're cheap and they're down the street, and go do it. So another thing we make is we make them too complex. And we tend, in this industry, fitness industry, tend to break all the rules of known research on pricing. And it is in depth of how much we know about pricing. It goes back to a lot of the real research started in the 1950s, when we started the first time they really started to look at how the consumer could buy. We came into the first generation of computers, so we could be able to track buying habits. The databases on consumers' behavior is one of probably the most recorded things on the planet. And yet gyms defy that. They think, oh, well, we're the exception to the rule. And basic thing is there's always too many choices. We try to throw too many things down, trying to hit every possible scenario that a client could ask us about. So when we started to do small group training and even one-on-one and modify it, we went 1, 2, 3 times a week. And I will tell everybody that I was horribly wrong with that, because I broke the rules. It's because it's too many choices. And statistically, we know from research, from looking at how people buy, that when you have three choices, so let's say small group training at 179, 279, and 379. So one time a week, two times a week, or three times a week. Statistically, 55% of the people pick the middle, 45% pick the lower, only about 5% will pick it because, well, they go the middle, well, like 2 weeks enough. That's all I really need. So it's a mistake because it drops your price. I'm a fan of the structural thing where it's keep it simple. Would you like to come once a week, or would you like to come 2 to 3 times a week? So that 179, 279, 379 would go away. It would be maybe 249 and 349. So 249, I can come once a week. And if I want to come 2 or 3 times a week, depending on the time of year, my kids are at school, out of school, whatever, it's, here. But now we have a 40-60 split, not a 5-50-45 split. So statistically, it works more because now your average price goes up and you just say 2 to 3 times a week. But trainers are so anal. It's like, well, if the guy comes 3 times a week, it's just, so what? He's paying more for the privilege of coming that way. But statistically, your average is much higher in this system than it is with the 3-layer system.
Yep.
But no matter how many times I teach that, somebody will go to a little mentorship and there'll be 20 guys in there and they all, well, I do 1, 2, 3 because I had this client that said, and then they all do the same thing. So going back to my rant on this is one of the biggest mistakes we make with pricing is we ignore all the technology that supports how the consumer really does buy. But if I had to summarize the mistakes we make in pricing, too complicated. We have too many layers. Another mistake we make is we try to price too broad base. We don't understand that we want to be priced so there's a certain client that can't afford the gym. There's no perfect price. There's no price where somebody won't bitch. And that's stuff. Planet Fit is a perfect example of that. They do $10 memberships. A company called Wow opened $9 memberships. And then there was a guy in Oregon that was doing 5 memberships for $20. So he was doing, so one guy paid 20, but you could bring 4 friends. So in essence, $4 membership. So everybody's looking for the perfect price where people don't bitch and complain. Can you imagine somebody walking in and going, look, the guy down the street's $4, you charge $9. I mean, it's like you can't make, so you have to price for your target market. So if I'm building a training gym and my client's going to be one-on-one and small group and high-end even team, then I price for the top 40% of the demographics. And I have to understand there's clients going to be walking in that can't afford it. And I can't panic and go, oh my God, my prices are too high. No, the guy's too young. He's first job, he's broke, or he's struggling. And to do this, you have to price for your market. And so we tend to do this, but also the wealthier client seems more value in the higher price because they don't like cheap prices because it's too good to be true. And that's, so again, I've done that 1,000 times in the workshop. I point to 2 guys, $100 an hour trainer, $200 an hour trainer. Which one's the best? But everybody wants to charge the 100 because, oh my God, I don't have any money, nobody else does. And the $200 guy goes, the accountant walking in, with a 50-man firm goes, $200. He's got to be the best guy. He's got enough confidence to charge the highest hourly. He's got to be the best. So we no target market. And then as we think about this, we have to start thinking about what we're trying to do. We're looking for stability. Now we're looking at the month-to-month doesn't work, the things like that, where I've seen guys do that where, oh my God, my market's different. I can't do month-to-month. Your sales systems are bad. The client's not different. So biggest mistake there is all your clients should be on 12-month contractual obligations because that builds a receivable base and stability. So a lot of the young coaches want to go month to month or even, God forbid, packages and sessions. So we make so many mistakes in pricing that it really we have to work so hard to overcome our own pricing structure. And the pricing structure is supposed to enhance our business and build wealth for us. And most of the time it works against us and actually kind of backfires because we make so many mistakes with it.
Yep. So let me summarize all the different amazing nuggets that you threw out there, Tom, and I was taking notes. Pricing is situational. You got to price it for the market that is there. Think about the top 40% affluence wise. Don't make it complex, 99-1 rule, like you said. Keep it simple and don't give them so many options. Now, as you were saying that, you also threw out some other elements here, which said you have high-end team, you have small group training, and you have one-on-one. So there's really three. Now, coupled with something that you mentioned in the previous episodes, where does nutrition now come in? Where does accountability add-on or bolts-on come in? And what does happen, as you were giving some insights about accessibility to 1 time a week, 2 times a week? Like, so isn't my pricing structure, even in this simple model, becoming complicated now? Or
no. So if you think about it, there's 3 clients. So you have to price for the 3 clients within the gym. And most guys don't think this through when they open their gym. They just, I'm going to market and people are going to come in. Well, what people are going to come in? Well, people with money. Well, that doesn't tell me anything. So I have to look at my market as 3 different segments in the training world. That 24 to 35, 36-year-old client is our team client. That guy would be head teller at the bank. She might be a school teacher. She might be somebody in there that she can afford this, maybe, but they're younger and they normally gravitate toward team training because of the price and because of their age. Now, small group training, that is a 35 to 55-year-old market. Now, that overlap of the 30s, that 35-year-old person in small group might be a senior agent at State Farm and making a lot of money versus the guy in team is 35 years old and he's a waiter, so that's why the overlap. But that 35 to 55 segment, that is an older person. They still like the group dynamic, but they maybe not one-on-one. They still like the small group. So we sell them small group. And we sell them that becomes, once we get past team, we get into the elite training. And I've had so many discussions on this lately. Is the trend in team is just to shove more people, or small group, more people in it. Well, it's 6 or 8. When you add 6 people, 2 more people, you got 6. It's not intimate anymore. It's kind of a party. So the 4 people, that's what people want, a small group. They want the intimacy. And when you break that rule, it's just team training. You're the same thing as I expect it, if I pay more, to have it to be a better experience. Well, if I'm paying you $500 a month or $400 a month, or a one-on-one client $1,000 a month, I know you're a good trainer. I already believe that. So it's not about the training. It's how you deliver it. It's the experience of the training. It's the overall guidance of the training. It's the support I'm going to get with this. It has to go beyond that. So that client is 40 to 65, but the number one reason they're there is not because you're the best trainer in the world. They're there because it's privacy. They're there because they hate people. They're there because he's got 60 employees and hates all of them. He's there because for 1 hour, it's all about him. So I just want you to lead. They're not there because you're the best coach ever. They're there because you've created a sense of eliteness and privacy. So we sell eliteness, and we forget that. We're not selling workouts. You want to reach out through the camera and grab every trainer. It's not the damn workout. You're selling, in this case, eliteness. You're selling privacy. You're selling exclusivity. That's why I love the pod systems in the gym, where you have your little mini gyms all within your gym, little 300-foot self-contained gyms where I take my client. I don't have to share equipment, drag equipment. I don't have to go anywhere else in the gym. He's got his own gym. It's 300 feet, and he's got me, the coach. And that's all he wants. And if people look over and go, oh, look, the big, wealthy guy, one-on-one doing his one-on-one trainer, he kind of gets a little status out of that. But it's an elite. We're selling that privacy, eliteness. We're selling the ability to protect this client. It's never about the damn workout. He makes the assumption that you're a good trainer, that he's going to get results. That's a basic assumption of paying $400 a month. I'm going to get in shape. That's why I'm paying you $400 a month. It's what you wrap around it. Back to your question about nutrition, then. Nutrition is any of these layers. It's just an add-on 12-week program that I may drop in and do just to reset my body as I start my training. So if I come in, I'm a stressed out business guy, 40 pounds overweight, I might want to do one-on-one training and a 12-week nutrition program, accountability program, to get myself started, get myself reset. But the nutrition may either go away, or I might pay you, $90 a month for just accountability program and my supplements or something. But the program, that's what we call a wraparound, is I grab it out of the closet, use it when I need it, but I put it back in the closet if I don't need it as the client. So the price structure, the mistake we make is we don't understand that we're creating prices not just for different people with money, but for different clients with different expectation and different needs. And the better coaches understand that one-on-one client is not just different because he's got more money, but what he wants is just radically different than what the team guy wants.
Fair
And
enough.
yeah,
So let me ask you this,
it's
Tom.
crazy.
I get it. And these are great, like the way you broke up the personas to say, hey, team client, the younger population, small group training, 35 to 55 overlap, and then the elite. Help me understand this from a pricing perspective. Since the bolt-on nutrition is $99 or ongoing, or like we were talking about in a previous episode, 400 for a 12-week accountability segment of it, what would be the pricing for these three? And I understand pricing is situational. So give me a range thinking about the coast and then the middle. What would it look like? Because you talk to so many gyms.
The easiest way to look at it is, first of all, start with your one-on-one price. What do I want to get for one-on-one? A trend, and I'm trying to hammer this trend hard with all my clients, is in many of our gyms, we just did away with the team price. So because I've got a guy, he's got a 10,000 foot gym in Pennsylvania. We just did away with his team price, which was $179, I think. Excuse me. And his lower entry price is now $229. So you've got a 10,000 foot gym, which is the entry price into this gym is $229. That is team, but you get five small groups with that. It's because he ended up just hating the team people because they were so cheap. He had some old team people down at $149, but they're the biggest pain in the asses. They bitch and moan about everything because they're paying less. So he just said, okay, I'm still going to do team, but it's going to include small group, and that pre-qualifies them because now they're paying a higher rate. And now he uses team to support training. Team is not a standalone like Orange Theory. Team is boxing, restoration of natural movement, guided meditation, normal team training, pushing sleds, flipping kettlebells. So if I take one-on-one training, I have the option, whether I use it or not, to jump into small group on my off days to kind of fill out my schedule. And if I can even go down and box if I want. So by having these extra activities, it breaks repetition fatigue, but it builds value in the membership because I get my level, but I get this, and this below my level. So it allows us to kind of take a client and immerse them into all the layers that we have. And it kills repetition fatigue, but it justifies and value the price. Back to the price structure itself, if I know my one-on-one rate, then I can set the rest of the price structure.
Okay.
So if everybody else in town is charging, this would be Pennsylvania, this could be Ohio, like Columbus, markets like that, Omaha, places, Chicago maybe. So let's say the average price in a city is 90. Well, I want my guy to be 100 to 125. So if we look at 100, then I'm looking, once I get my 5 rate, 5 times a month. So based on that, so that's $499. That's $499 a month for 12 months, and that gets me 5 times. Once I know that price, then I can go from there. So if it's $499 for that, I just again take the 4. I've got $899 for 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
Then underneath that, I can easily drop $100 down to 2 to 3 times a week team training at $379. And $279 for once a week team. And if I once a week small group, $379 for a small group 2 to 3 times. And then I've got $279. I can go down to $199 or $179 for my team rate. And so now I've got $179 team, $279, $379, $499, $899. And that would be a simple price structure I could use. If somebody doesn't want to do a contract, all these are doable for 20% more. So once I know my one-on-one rate, I could do it. So if I'm in Arkansas and I'm charging $60 and everybody in town is charging $50, then I just have to adjust all the prices up and down, because that $60 now 5 times 5, that's $299. Then my small group rate might be as low as $219, $119 small group, and then my team rate might only be $89 in that market. But so $60 in Arkansas in most markets for one-on-one is the same as $300 in Manhattan. It's the same spend. It's the same equivalent. That's what trainers don't understand. That's why prices need to be situational, because hey, you charge 60, I'm only charging 60. Dude, in your market, 60 is outrageous because everybody's charging 50. You're the highest priced trainer. And you want to be the highest priced trainer in the market because the money guy gets that, and I think we talked about this in one of our past segments, but if this guy's 100 and this guy's 200, which one's the best coach? The money guy is always going to point to the 200. Yeah, the guy that can't afford him might not take either one, but he's not our client. So enough. I want to be by intent the highest priced. And weirdly, a side note, I even tell I've got a lot of guys I'm coaching on how to be consultants and how to, kind of be, they want to be gurus or front of the room people, write books, be consultants. I've got a whole stable of those guys now, which is kind of fun because that's a lot of fun to talk about. But it's the same thing in the market segments that they're pursuing, which is real estate, financial services, other things like that. It's like, I want you to be the highest priced person there is, because the money person sees the value in that. You can't be the best and the cheapest. That's an old adage, but it's a lot of truth in that.
That is true. You can only get 2 out of the 3 as it goes, right? Speed, quality, and price. But fair enough. So Tom, coming back to this, now I want to connect the dots with the mistakes that you mentioned. Too many options. Now, as you were giving this and I was writing it down, team, small group, elite, and then within team you had 179, 270. Am I not guilty of giving too many options now, or am I approaching this wrong? I mean, where am I falling off now?
Well, if you think about it, I only have 2 options for each target category. Okay. So yeah, if my 35 to 50-year-old person wants small group, they only have 2 choices. So yeah, I may show that, but if you contrast that with a what's the example? Hilarious price guy, 27 years in business. And I went to see him just before the virus. And we're looking at everything. And I'm looking at his price structure, and it was pages, not a page. It was pages. And if you think about that, anybody in gym business over a period of time, they always add, but they never take anything away, because somebody will come in and say, well, I was going to sign up, but
let's add another one.
Yeah, they add another one because I don't see this on your price structure, but that's kind of what I want if I'm going to sign up. And the guy goes, oh my God, I got to have that. There's a hole. And then after 5 years, you've got no longer a couple of 1-page choices. Now you've got pages. And then you have prices for seniors, and you have prices for cops, and you have prices for this group and that group. And all of a sudden I have to look through several pages. So how do you present the prices? So I want the prices presented on 1 page. And if you think about it, we've only have 5, maybe 6 price structures. So I'd be team at 179, small group, maybe 249 and 349. One-on-one could be $499, $499, $899. And then if you have a high-end nutrition program and you have a really like CEO type crowd, you might have a $12.99 where every program is individualized. His full nutrition every month is included. He gets 2 massages a month because I pay a massage person in my industrial park to do that. And that's a total pampering membership, But in that case, even that, I only have 6 prices on the sheet. And when I look at the person in front of me and, she's 28 years old and loves team, I will show her the rest of the prices, but that makes her team rate look really good because I got guys in here paying $12.99 a month and she's paying $179. So she really has one option.
Well, that's
And
true. That's true.
yeah, so
It's
so
funny you were
you keep it
talking about the
simple.
pages. I know I have a few clients that this is bizarre, wherein their pricing changes depending on how many people show up in the small group. So it's technically no more than four, but if only two people show up, then their price goes up per session because only two people showed up. It's so bizarre.
That would last once for me.
Yes.
What'd you sell me? What's your membership? Well, this is your membership and this is what I paid for. It's like joining an Orange Theory and then you want to come at 5 o'clock and they put you on a waiting list. Well, I'm paying you $179 a month and I'm on a waiting list in the gym that I signed up to work out.
Yep.
Well, you didn't sign up soon enough for this class. Well, that's going to last once and I'm out of there. Same thing. It's just why would you punish the client? That's your fault.
True.
You set that in motion. But you know how common that is? I mean, that would be how many times we talked about this in the other episodes is that the trainers they don't respect the money of the people that pay them. You're not respecting your client doing that. You're like, oh my, so you got a better experience, I'll charge you more. I booked a time slot. This is small group training. Up to 4 people, 2 showed up today. Big deal. Let's train. Yep. Well, I got to charge you more because, the other guy didn't show up. So you're charging me because that guy didn't show up. How long do you think that's going to last?
Yeah.
I mean, you just blew your own business apart.
Yeah, so crazy. And it's an administrative overhead for me because I need to keep going in and changing. You're not simplifying things, which was the other mistake you spoke about. It's funny. There was this other angle that you were talking about, the options thing, how team training looks so much more attractive than compared to the bigger price. And I was reading a sales book somewhere, and it just popped in my head, where they said, if you go to the movies, the same thing about the options, they're outrageously priced, the popcorns are. But there is a medium and a large. 2 options, exactly what you were saying. The medium is $4.50, and that's outrageous, but it looks good the moment you say the large is $5.25 or something, like $5.25 for popcorn, but it's $4.50 medium, I'll take the medium. And now they end up taking the medium, that kind of thing. But it's outrageous to begin with.
Training gym business, we're the guys that are top 40% by affluence. That client is recession proof. That client is bulletproof. That client equates price with service. So once you charge real money, then everything else has to match.
So I'm going to end it over here. We got a lot of great nuggets here. I'm going to go back to this repeatedly because pricing, like you said, is all over the board. It's all over the place. And I see that with our clients as well. So thank you once again, Tom. I appreciate it. I love this time. And till next time.
Talk to you soon.
Yep.